What questions do you have or some aha moments? So we didn't have anything? Let me know you're good. Let me know you can hear me in the chat if you don't want to use your mic. I know some of you may be at work, but let me know how your week one was. Did you have any learning points? How was week one's assignment about the research on the participants? Jairus, nice to meet you and thank you. Jairus says we can hear me. Yay. And week one was great. I love it. Okay. Denisa said nothing much going on actually this week. Laugh out loud. Sometimes those are the best weeks, Denisa. Stacey said the week went pretty good, but very busy. Ooh, yes, that was my week. Oh my gosh. Megan said had a good week. One of our goats is going to in labor and sleeping kiddos next to me. Oh my gosh. I wish you could share some pictures of the babies. I love goats. My niece and her ridiculous self. She keeps my nephew dog because he travels for his job, and she keeps his German Shepherd, and she has it's like a pound, a hound mix. It's a mix of sorts, and she keeps them, and she wants a goat. And I said, Courtney, how's that going to work with two dogs and a goat in your small backyard? She says, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I said, I bet you will. All right. So, Tiana, nice to meet you. So, for everything is well, I will stay in the meeting as long as I can. We are having active tornadoes right now. And Tiana, you on the phone? What state are you in? Thank you,
I'm in
Megan.
Illinois.
And you're on your class? You sure you don't want to just wait and listen to the recording?
No, me and my children, we're actually in the basement right now. They just
Oh
called
my
for everyone to
gosh.
take cover. So we're in the basement right now, and I've been kind of peeking out the windows as I can. I've been hearing some debris hit the window. So if it gets too bad to where we have to go into like the cellar, I will leave the class. I will, let you shoot you a message just letting you know that, we're okay. But I'm gonna stay in as long as I can. I like to attend live so I can
Bless your
interact with
heart.
everyone.
Tiana, thank you so much. And know that my prayers are with you that it would just be a bunch of winning and a pass on by.
I'm hoping so because I have a
Yes.
wooded backyard, so I am surrounded by trees.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
this isn't the first time, and I have been protected all the other years that no damage has happened to my home or my family. So we're going to keep those same prayers going.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you got them shooting toward you from South Carolina.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right. Boy, oh boy, I tell you what. Our weather in South Carolina, I say is, I'm not hoping this doesn't offend anyone, but I'm gonna just say it like this. It needs to be on medication because one minute we'll have a bunch of rain, next minute it'll be cold, next in the same day it'll be hot. Then the next day they might be talking about snow. It's crazy. And one week it'll be hot as fire. Then the next week, pull your coats back out. I took a nap before class, and when I woke up, I'm sneezing. So we got pollen, then we got cool. It's crazy. But I will say this: long as you're safe, that's all that matters. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for joining. I love to see you come to live sessions because I love a lot of reasons. One, you get to talk to each other. You get to talk, we all talk with each other. And we can just come up with things. Believe it or not, I learned so much from interacting with class because each class is different. All of us bring our own personalities, so never do I want you to feel like, oh my God, I gotta go to class. No, you can listen to the recording, but it's so many benefits that you get from uh, interacting with everybody live. And just like Tiana says, she likes to hear it. She likes to talk to in the live session. It makes a difference. And for those that just, I don't want to talk, I just want to listen, that's cool too. So I love it when you come, bring your snacks, bring your Cheetos, bring your Pepsi, bring your hot tea, bring your water, bring some almonds, whatever it is, bring a sandwich, but come and be comfortable. You know, sit up in your bed with your iPad or laptop, whatever it is that you watch the live class, so be comfortable. So, but enough of that. I wanted to say that to everybody. Thank you for putting that in your information in the chat. So let's go with a little bit of housekeeping duties. One, I want to make sure that everyone knows where to find the recording. I only got two questions last week that to locate it, and you found it fine, and the rest of you located it well. So what I'm going to do is share my screen to show where the recordings are. Recordings are in your Teams. You can go through Teams, you can go through Microsoft 365, click on Teams through that, or you can go through the class Blackboard, and over in the bottom right corner, I'm told that that's not where it is for students, but I click on Microsoft Education. And when I click on Microsoft Education, it takes me to the recordings. It has options for the recordings or the whole schedule for the live sessions. So, what I would like to do is find out when you click on, if someone would do that now, anybody, if you have your laptops in front of you, if you're not joining on the phone, um, if someone would either put in the chat, how do you get to your live class link through Blackboard? Because I go through that way consistently to make sure um, that I just open that up in case anybody else joins through that. But if you join through your Teams, it should be under recording, it should be in the chat session or under files. So if Denisa, Megan, Jared, Stacy, Marilyn, Tian, I won't bother you. If you would share how you would join or how you tell me how you log into Teams. How do you log into your live session? And if we could do that real quick, if somebody would grab their mic, we can move on to what we got going on for this week. Stacy, look like you're trying to tell us a little something, something. No? Okay, I'll give everybody a second if you would drop. How do you join the live session? Through Microsoft Teams, or do you join through Blackboard and then click on Microsoft Education?
I joined through Blackboard, but I just follow the link that you put in one of the announcements that you had posted. It's
Oh,
the one that
okay.
says how to get to your weekly live sessions.
There you go. Denisa, thank you. Big hugs. I appreciate that. And that will help a lot of people. Okay, let's see who else. All right, Tiana says she used Blackboard. Okay. Jared said, I joined through the link in announcements. Perfect. Marilyn says, I clicked the link in announcements. That works. And there's like one or two different other ways that you can get to it. Make it easier on yourself how you do it, because I'm getting ready to share my screen. All right, Megan, thank you. Megan, I like your picture. I think that is so freaking cool. All right, Megan says she joins through the announcements as well. Stacy, I used the link as well. Well, that works. Perfect. Um, okay, let's go ahead and all right, I love me some cowboy boots, Megan. All right, y'all, I'm getting ready to share the screen. Let's look at what we got going on this week. We've talked a good bit today. It's 14 after the hour, and I want to try to keep I promise. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All right. So first things first, let me just kind of go back. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, I just showing that. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, let me just show you real quickly. All right, so I'm going to start from the very beginning. How Benita joins the class. She logs into Blackboard, and over here, we're into Blackboard, the course content. Over here it says Microsoft, Open Microsoft Education. Now, when you log into Blackboard, I don't think that is there for you. Is that right? But most of you, when you log into Blackboard, do you see my Open Microsoft Education? Yes, no? Let me pull up the chat. Oh my goodness, come on. Megan, you're too funny. Okay, so the question was, when you log into Blackboard, do you have the option to open Microsoft Education? I know most of you joined through the links in the announcement, which is perfectly fine. Okay, Marilyn says she couldn't find it. That works for me. So that's crazy. I wonder why. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna have to check on that. All right, so learning that what you're doing works. If yeah, just keep doing that. When I log into Microsoft Education, I thought that was an option for everybody because again, is when you log into Blackboard, of course, log into the course, then you see the course content here over the left. Then over here, you got Open Microsoft Education. So you're telling me you don't see that. Okay. All right. Going back to the recordings. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm. I'm trying to find something real quick, y'all. Ba-dup, ba-dup, ba-dup. Okay, Stacy says Microsoft Education is showing for me. Well, thank you, Stacy. Love it. Okay. Because I was like, why would they do that for instructors and not the students? But I had a student in a class one time a couple of months ago. He didn't have it. So it said it's not showing, it's showing but won't open content. Wow. Says good stuff is coming. It will be available as soon as your teacher activates this app. You're right, Stacey. Gotta love during technology. Sometimes it's a pain in the Watusi. Um, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but let me check something. So if I click on it, I'm already in it. But I wanted to show y'all what I see when you click on. See right here where it says OneDrive, you got other apps that you can see. You can click on meetings or you can click on Teams. Teams will be on your calendar and you should be able to click on Tuesdays, click on the link. Now, if you click here on meetings, you can click on my meetings and then our schedule will come up. Let's see. And here are the recordings. Here's the recordings link, but you can see it another way. Here we go. All right. So see, this is the old one. It did this earlier, but this is a picture of what you will see. You will see our course schedule of the live classes, then you click join. But this is another class. See where it says February 11? And right now this is saying no meetings, which is not correct because we're here. But nevertheless, let's keep her moving. Okay. Let's go down a week too. Legal requirements and job analysis. Okay, get your pens ready because I'm going to try to stick to our time frame. It's 20 after the hour. Give me a few minutes and then we'll be able to move on. So what are we going to talk about this week? We're talking about what is required legally to, you know what? First of all, why don't I get in the right class? And here we go. And here we go. So I wanted to show you again so our calendars can't come up. This thing is so crazy. It did that earlier when I logged in. So when you click into Microsoft Education, I'm going to dismiss that. Then you can click on to meetings. Here are meetings. So since we're in April 14th, next week is April 21st, then you click join. Okay. Then it's the 28th, May 5th, May 12th, which will be our last night of class, May 12th. Make a note of that because your assignments are due on that last night. And sometimes life does happen, just like Tiana, life is happening for her right now. But I love the stamina, how you just keep going. She's joined the class anyway. But I just, when you're in school and you're an adult, you're adulting, right? So I'm going to shut up and move on. Okay, here we go. On the right subject, concepts of human development. What does it mean by concepts? Yeah, drop in the chat. What does it mean by concepts? Concepts of human development. We're talking about how we as humans develop, but you're talking about the different concepts. What does concept mean? If you don't know, just say not sure. Say like the young people, I don't know. ION. They kill me with these abbreviations. They're going to get to a real job and not know what to put. General ideas and facts. Thank you, Megan. So I love it. You got general ideas of how humans development. Again, I told y'all week one, I like to use everyday language. Well, of course, we use some um, terminology from the text, but at the same time, I like to use words that it would say, oh, is that what that means? It's just like us. If we wanted to make um, macaroni and cheese, we may have different ways. Some may use Gouda cheese. Some may use the 3, 4, I think it's called Mexican style cheese. I love to put that on my broccoli. Different ways of making macaroni and cheese. Somebody may put broccoli in it. Somebody might put sausage in it. Who knows? It's your thing. You do how you want to. That said, the different concepts mean the different meanings of what human development is. You had a whole bunch of theorists, renowned theorists, back in the day where we were not even thought about being born yet. Our parents weren't born. And they were studying human development long time ago. So as we look at in your reading, we're talking about when it comes to human development concepts, you have interdisciplinary field. This is a physical domain that addresses how the body grows and how physical abilities change is rooted in biology and medicine. Now, when they mention cognitive domain, that's your thinking. The social emotional domain looks at our emotions. I was talking to my nephew today, and we were talking about, he said, it's just so hard. They call me Bon Bon, okay? No, don't laugh. But my niece couldn't say Bonnie when she was growing up. So Bon Bon stuck. And he said, Bon Bon, I just don't understand women. Now he's 31. He has 2 children, and he's dating a woman right now. And she's kind of immature, y'all. I'm just going ahead and put it out there. And she loves him a lot, and he loves her. But he said, I just don't understand women. Now, when we talk about this word, so far we talk about the physical domain, meaning how the body changes. Cognitive means how your thinking is formed. Then we come to this word, social emotional domain. It's fueled by social sciences like psychology, anthropology, sociology, information education, family studies, and social services help explore the changes that occur as the individual develops. Now, I brought that example up of my nephew and his lady friend, and I told him, I said, women can be emotional. It just depends on what our bodies are doing, where we are emotionally about you. I told him, I said, she's in love with you. And when he comes in from out of town, she wants all of his time. And if she doesn't get it, she flips. I said, now I told him, she is changing. She's being emotional because she wants all of your time because she knows Sunday or early Monday you're leaving back out. And I get it. I tell him I understand it, but there's a barrier. You need to understand to say, hey, he rides the motorcycle. He likes to ride with his friends. Give him some guy time. But we as women, not all of us, can be emotional at times. It depends on what it is, what's going on with our bodies. It could be a hormonal imbalance. So we respond to where we are emotionally. So when we look at the concepts of human development, we're looking at three interdisciplinary fields. Now, the interdisciplinary field is the study of human development in many areas. Okay, that's according to Burke. Now, exploring these areas that occur during development provides insight into how we're shaped physically, cognitively, and socially emotionally. If a baby is born, and y'all stop me, jump in if you want to add something to it. When babies are born, they go through certain milestones. Humans go through certain milestones. And depending on what happened in those milestone areas, it can shape of who we become. Last week, I asked you to think about what influenced you to be who you are. This is what I'm talking about. As we develop, different things happen to us, y'all. We can grow up and change totally from who we were grown as a child. Maybe something in the childhood was traumatic for you. I share with you how my parents married when they were children. They were not mature at all. And they would have some unpleasant arguments. And to this day, I don't argue with anybody. If I got to raise my voice, I'm not doing it. Now, I will speak firmly to you, and you will know. Ask my grandniece. Um, she'll tell you. Now, I get firm with her because I want her to understand the impacts of her actions. I get a little tough with her, but to argue with somebody, I'm not doing it. Mm-mm-mm. I'm leaving the premises. So I'm being silly when I say that, but no, I'm not going to argue with you. And I don't argue with people. Now I'm going to defend myself and I will be firm, but I get that from my mother. She didn't argue. She said what she said, and she said what she said. Now you think about how it was growing up in your house. Was there a lot of, was it very quiet? Was it mediocre? Was it, oh, everybody throwing dishes and pots and pans? And then guess what? How we watch whomever raised us, we as an adult, all of us in this class, we decide how we handle conflict. Now I'm gonna pause there for a second and I want you to tell me, say in the chat, how do you handle conflict today? Either you avoid it, you deal with it head on, throw a couple of pans. What do you do? Give your All right, Megan, thank you for being the first to post discussion and try to see all viewpoints. I love it. But you know what, Megan, that is such that's the plan. Can we talk about it rationally and come up with a solution? But you know what I found? Yes, definitely compromise. A lot of people, you may meet someone that came from a household where they argued their point. Everybody is shouting. And I've heard different places, different people I've met, that's how they handle it. The other one try to get as loud as the other one, and nothing is being resolved. All right. Thank you, Megan, for sharing that, because I like to try to talk it through. It doesn't make any sense. We're both adults. All right. Stacy said, depends on the situation, but it's typically handled head on. I got you. Yes, I got you, Stacy. All right. Megan says, yes, me, I'm not much compromise growing up. Yeah, I understand that. Jairus said, de-escalate. So you probably are the one, Jairus, to, and I hope I'm saying your name right. You're probably the one that keeps it level to try to calm it down. And you sound, based on your responses, kind of tells me a little bit about you, how you deal with things. So I did ask you, growing up, how was it handled in your house? Guess what? That's an impact or influence of our environment. Say, for example, we go to work and we're in a teams meeting, we're in a conference room, and you have one person on your team that's very combative. Well, she's going to defend her case and she's going to be loud with it. But if you have someone like Jairus on her team, she's going to be the one that try to find compromising ways to share her viewpoint, as well as the one doing the shouting to kind of bring it down a notch. I wouldn't necessarily call Jairus a peacemaker, but she's the one that's trying to bring peace. And sometimes when I've been in a situation like that, and it depended on what they're fussing about, and depending on who's in the meeting, if we have leadership in the meeting, then what if the leadership can't calm her down? Then that's when I may step in to say, Jairus has a great point when she says blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, we as, say, project manager, is very frustrating when we have to get all these approvals and it delays X, Y, and Z. So yeah, just think about who you are. Think about where you come from. Think about your experiences growing up. Look how it kind of stirs like pasta in a bowl. Got that butter in there, got that garlic in there, right? And you're stirring it and you're stirring it. Well, that stirring it is evolving and making you who you are right now. That bowl of pasta, every strand of pasta is what made you who you are right now. Now, I think about Tiana. She is in the basement protecting her children. Well, what made her be that protective mom, that loving mom, that nourishing mom? Either she fought to be that person, but there's something in her milestones growing up made her who she is. All right, okay, it's 33 after the hour. Now, we've talked about that. Please make sure you take notes that make sense to you, that will help you do your assignments, okay? All of this, what we're talking about, will help you with your assignments. So let's look at the next topic, the lifespan perspective of human development. Okay, it says, while the study of development originated by, look, development and the study of humans started with children. In growth development, the field now has lifespan perspective, meaning everything that impacts individual as they shift from in utero to death, meaning the mama uterus to they die. So studies long time ago, example of the studies that we looked at in week 1, we now have an institution review board to protect participants, but the study and the foundation of how humans develop was by children, was on children. Hint, hint, hint. That is your passcode for week 2. And I'm going to pause there. Who was the first study of to determine human development? It was on children. I give you a few minutes to write that down. Now repeat it. The first study of human development was on children. For assumptions, make up the lifespan perspective, which is development is lifelong. That means, yeah, we don't change as long as we can. If you put your hand in front of your mouth and just blow, that means you have air in your body. That means you're still alive. That means you will continue to develop as long as you live. That's what this means right here. It's talking about the four assumptions that make up the lifespan perspective. Development is lifelong, multidimensional and multidirectional, highly plastic, and affected by multiple interacting forces. Meaning, y'all, everything around us, everything we do, everything we experience mold us and makes us who we are. We develop through bad relationships. We develop through our first day on the job because we're learning, we being shaped by our environments. We were learning and shaped when we were 2 years old by our environments. All right, let's go down a little bit more. Now, lifelong development, we talked about that, but I'm just showing you it gives you more definition of each, and multidimensional and multidirectional, meaning it goes deeper and it comes from many places. Plasticity, that is the continuous growth and change. That's us now. We're continuing to grow and we're continuing to change. And the last one is multiple interacting forces. Multiple forces, both internal and external, affect the continuous development of individuals. Y'all think about when you were in high school, and if you can remember your kindergarten days when you were, little thing, 2 to 5 years old. I remember, and I probably won't ever forget it. When I went to daycare, I probably was like 4 or 5. I was a little thing, but I still can see the town that I was living in. My mother would take me to daycare, which was like 2 blocks from the house. It was a small town. And when she would take me inside, and when she would leave, I would watch her walk off and I would cry. Yeah, I still can remember that. I still can feel the anxiety. And that's what development is about. That is multi-directional because I was impacted by my environment. And I would cry and cry, and I would walk to the door and watch her drive off. It just broke my heart. I still can see me. And then one day, one of the aides, she was a young girl, and she's like, "You need to stop that crying. Your mama's not coming back to get you. She may not come back right now, but she's coming back." Didn't like that girl ever since. Okay, I digress. All right, the next one is nature versus nurture. We've heard that before. Um, Here we talk about what is the things that develop us, that surround us and within us. Nature versus nurture is often the basis for theorists as they begin to study growth and to explain what shapes individuals' development. Nature is comprised of genetics, inherited. Then nature are the things that are around us. Do y'all remember, if you touch the hot stove, you'll learn not to touch it again? There you go. So it has more on nature and how it relates to our genetic inherited traits. Natural Experiment Romanian Orphanage. Read that. That's very informative, and it's got a video here that you can watch. So make sure you go through that because it will build a very strong foundation of the very factors that impact us and our growth. All right, the next one is our culture, things of our culture that impacts our growth and our development. And remember, children, they looked at children and their culture and the things that's around them that help them grow. So the culture are those customs and beliefs of group of people, their social norms, influenced by race, ethnicity, religion, It can also be shaped by the neighborhood where one grew up, the school, one attended, the community. Um, it's many things. So before you do your assignment, make sure you complete all your readings and also make sure that you take notes. Okay. Historical context is a unique factor that shapes development. One example is technology. Who was that said tonight? Technology can something else. Technology has brought us a long way, but at the same time, it hurts us. Another example, I think I shared this with you, or my last class. I was on my way to work and I was at the stop sign, and the kids were waiting for the bus. Plus, everybody had their phones to the face, and I just sat there. I did. I sat there and I just looked at them. And I said, look at our tomorrow. They're driven by their phones. Now, if I left my phone at home, I'm going to turn around and go get it. That's the lifeline to the world. So make sure that you definitely consider all of these things that I'm sharing in your reading that will help with your reading assignments. Definitely, you want to um, make sure you use your references. You can always use your text as a reference. Okay. Now I'm going to stop. I've talked a lot. Let's see if any notes in the chat. Let's see. Jerry said the first study of human development was on children. You got it. Bing, bing, bing. That is your code response question for week 2. Now let's look at what we're doing. All right. And then we'll wrap up. You're going to do a questionnaire and you're going to do a summary. The questionnaire is a list of questions that talk about how income may impact your growth and development, how where you live impacts development and growth. I mean, I can't even talk, growth and development. So it is a scenario that, and your role is for you to understand the responsibilities of an intake coordinator. You will collect patient information through questionnaire to provide the medical team with a comprehensive view of the patient's human development, aiding in accurate diagnosis and treatment. Now, what does that mean exactly? This is a scenario that you're going to look at. We just talked about in our reading this week the different laundry list of things that help shape our development. There's going to be a list of questions that you're going to answer. But then the second part is to write a summary. And I'm going to show you an example of that. It says the board of directors has requested from you, the pretend intake coordinator, to write a 3-page report. But before you write that report, you need to answer the questions. It's a list of 30. It says explaining why each questionnaire is being asked. That they want to ensure the questions encompass all aspects of patient's background. Your job is to conduct a hypothetical patient interview by selecting a mock patient, meaning pretend patient. This is for education purposes only. Please do not use your information for the assignment. I say that again. I'm going to even highlight it. Please do not use yourself. This is for you, a mock patient, meaning it's pretend, it's not real. Your task is to create a fictional patient, gather the relevant information, conduct a mock interview, answer each question on the questionnaire. It's a list of 30. Then, this is what a lot of people miss. Don't miss it. Then, that's part 1 right here. Answer the 30 questions. Coming from the mock interview, those questions are for the mock interview. Then you're going to write a report explaining each question's purpose and why. Well, what the material, that's why I encourage everybody, please read first, because those questions your answers to the questions is in your reading. Why do you need to know about a person's culture to try to help the director board to help diagnose that patient? Well, you need to know if that child was abused or not. From 2 to 12 years old, they were abused. How does that child surrounding help the team to put a diagnosis on her file, if you will? And then you upload it to Blackboard. They are due on Sunday. 11:59 p.m. And with that, your grades have been, I mean, your papers from week one have been graded. I just need to post them and watch tonight and tomorrow for your updates for week one's work. Um, and I'd say any questions on that before I show you an example. Give me a minute to pull it up. Nobody quiet. You don't have any questions? All right, give me one, two hip shakes, and then we will wrap it up. And I'm going to also show you where, let's see, hold tight. All right, they say when you don't have, when it's quiet, that means everybody is good. Pull up the example. Okay. I got the first part. Let me find the second part. All right. Let me go another route. This is not moving as fast as I thought. Almost there, everybody. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, I'm looking at the chat, and yes, there is. I will post that after class tonight. I'd like to go through our live class first, then post the question, because I kind of look for the heartbeat of our discussion and then post it. So it kind of ties together. I will post that as soon as the class ends. Let me just kind of respond. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay, let me share again and we will be done, I promise. All right, let's share the screen. Okay, so what I want to do is, okay. I'm going to show you where these questions are. So remember I said it was a list of 30 questions, and these are the questions. What is your age? Were you born premature or with a health condition? 44-year-old born to, these are her mock answers. And born 2.5 pounds premature. Stop right there. Now, her being, or he, whomever it was born prematurely, right? So there are some developmental delays probably in hitting certain milestones. So that impacts how that person develops. We don't know all the issues that came with this premature baby. So this does impact their growth. Now, the next question, what is your birth weight? What is your current height? 3 pounds, 2 ounces, 5'5", 178. What is your ethnic background? Remember, we talked about culture, how our culture plays a part in how we humans develop. All right, what city, in which neighborhood did you grow up? So they're trying to find out what your culture again, your surroundings, your environment, nature versus nurture, how it impact how you grew up. Who lived in the home with you? Well, definitely this could be just a single parent home with other siblings. Say there was a father or no father, or there wasn't a mother. Maybe we were raised by another relative. So it depends. Not having a two-parent traditional home can shape our development. That could be good, bad, or indifferent. High school diploma, yes or no? How would you classify your relationship with your parents? Well, what if your parents weren't there? And the question goes on, have you ever been abused? And y'all, we know that's trauma. So again, shaping of a human, all of these things play a part. If you drew a stick figure, y'all remember the stick figures, drew that in the middle of the page, and you said, well, what are some of the things that impact this stick figure? Lack of food, lack of love and attention, or it could have been mediocre. Maybe the child didn't get much attention. Maybe there was one cousin that gave that one stick figure attention. They got all the love and support from that one cousin. That impacts your development, class. You get it from one person versus a house full of people. The house full of people don't even know you're there. It's too many people in there. So what I'm naming are the different things, the different variables that impact human development. So this week, we're answering a bunch of questions and we're documenting for the board, pretend board, how these things impact the individual. Now, remember, I told you 30. You need to answer all 30. This is the summary. This is part 2. It says, when conducting a patient interview, it is important to understand that a person's health is not only shaped by biology, but also environment, experiences, relationships, culture, and psychosocial development across the entire lifespan. Human development is influenced by interacting between nature versus nurture, meaning genetics, upbringing, trauma, all the things that we talked about. This next paragraph says the first set of questions focus on birth, age, early childhood, understanding that the patient was born prematurely and had a very low birth weight is significant because early biological risk factors can influence cognitive development, emotional regulation, and long-term health outcomes. Questions about ethnic background and environment provide insight of identity information, cultural experiences, environmental stress exposure. The questionnaire explored educational experiences and school access, or even the lack thereof, revealing that the patient attended public schools due to financial limitation. So this is the summary, and you're basically saying why all of these things impact the stick figure's development. Opening the floor for questions. And as you know, the discussion question, again, we'll post that after this class, and then you have your code response, which we think that, who's that? Put it in the, okay, was that Jairus that put it in here? Okay, here it is. No, get what's Jairus. Good memory. So just so the code response question, post that right after class, get it out of the way, and you'll be straight. Oh, great, Stacy. Stacy said that helped out a lot. Thank you for showing absolutely. And I'm going to show you, uh, let's see, wait 1 second. Pull that back up. I'm going to show you where the question is right up under the assessment. I just want to show everybody, those that are listening to the recording, that you'll know exactly where to look for it. All right. And then we are done. In class, I like to take my time when it comes to the assignments because one, I want you to understand what the heck it is you're doing. Two, I want you to think about you as you go through this. And that would drive you to who you are even more. You know who you are for the, for the basic part, but understand how you got there. So this course is more than just an elective. This is an exploration course, I like to call, because it helps determines you, helps you get information about your children, your significant other, life in general, your coworkers. It opens up a lot of windows for the breeze to come through to understand some things of human behavior. All right, so here we are. Let's click on assessment, and I just want to show you where there's your reading material, where the questionnaire, here we go, right here. So you can either download here and see a glimpse of it. And if you want to download it, click on that right there. And here are your 30 questions. Let me scroll up some. Here are your questions right here. There's 21 on that page, and then there's the rest. So you can download this, do a save as, and just answer each one. And if you want to do, just say the next page, keep going, and write your summary. And that's it. Questions, comments? We good to say goodnight? I'm going to get me a cup of coffee. All right, y'all. I'm glad that example helped out a lot. Y'all know what to do. You get stuck, have a question, email me, call me. And if I'm not able to pick up, give me within 48 hours, I give you a call back or send me an email, either one that works. Y'all have a fabulous night. And Tiana, I hope, please keep me posted on how things go tomorrow. Um, I think that's it, y'all. Have a good night and a good rest of the week. Tomorrow is hump day, and I'm so glad about it. It seemed like it came so fast, but I'm not going to complain. All right, Stacey, you have a good night too. And Tiana, Stacey says stay safe as well. And have an uneventful night. Good night.